Hello, thank you for tuning in. If you're grading or just watching for whatever other reason, I'm Jeremy and this is my Rocket 3 final. I teach vinyasa and hot flow out of Michigan, some beginners yoga, breathe and bend, that type of stuff. I won't teach Rocket going forward, but I recognize how invaluable this training is for my own practice as a teacher and as a student. So a lot of this will stick with me, obviously, for the rest of my life. Thank you. Y'all are some cool cats, and I really appreciate the instruction, the time, and all of that. So for the sake of this assignment, this will be our 60-minute Rocket-inspired class. We'll use one block. You don't have to, of course, just some options for modifications if you might need that today. And we're just going to start in a comfortable seated position. So knees together or crisscross if that's easier for you. You'll turn to the left, long ways with the mat. We'll always open up to the right and rock it, so just something to think about. And just start to settle in for a couple breaths. However you're joining this practice, think about how and what it could mean for you. Good. Hands could be on the lap, fingertips down, shoulders might roll out of the ears some. Notice how choppy or smooth the breath is. Kind of nice to take one hand to the belly, one to the chest sometimes. And then maybe start to hear the breath. In and out the nose is what we're shooting for. The next hour, I'll take you all through a couple sun salutations into a ladder sequence where we'll build some stuff and then finish on the floor with some Rocket 1 and Rocket 2 themes. 2 more breaths. Ujjayi breathing locks in now if you've got that. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, just a big inhale through the nose. Maybe you hear it like waves crashing, and then exhale, push the shoulders out of the ears. One more time, maybe shrug the shoulders up, big breath, and then exhale out. Good. On your next inhale, we'll come into tabletop. This is where we meet for class. Right away, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, rock back and forth as much as feels good. Even long ways with the mat a little bit. Good job. And then from here, we'll take cat-cows. So press into the hands nice and strong. Use your thumbs and pinkies, and then look for the belly button. This is cat pose, so try to arch up the back. The shoulder blades open like they were taking in air, pushing into the tops of the feet. Good. Then inhale, drop the stomach. Cow pose, shoulders roll back, even back into the hips. Flex the glutes some, and then exhale back to your cat. Good, this is the rhythm. Just 3 or 4 more of these, a little bit slower, a little bit faster if you want. If you think about how this practice can be custom to you, you might instill some creativity. 1 or 2 more, a little bit deeper, whichever direction you're headed. Push into the tops of the feet. Don't forget about your fingers. Good job. Just loosening up here. And then exhale, straight line from the top of the head to the tailbone. We're going to get into the wrists a little bit. You could ball up the fingers to start popping the knuckles. If you type or write a lot, that might feel kind of good. And then exhale 1 at a time. 3 and 9 o'clocks where the fingertips will face, and then we'll just rock side to side. Fix the camera so you can see. Maybe really subtle, maybe a little bit more dramatic into one side. Look down underneath yourself. Notice how the shoulders are moving. Maybe rock a little bit long ways with the mat. Good. And then on your exhale, back to center. Fingers away from the body, make sure your thumbs are pressed down. We're going to do some lifts here. On your next inhale, try to pull the palms up and off the mat. Good. So just coming onto the fingertips. Exhale, back down. Inhale, wrists up above the hands. 2. Exhale, back down. 3 more. Inhale, come up. Maybe rock a little with the body. Exhale, back down. Use your pinkies. Inhale, back up. 4. Exhale, back down. And last one. Inhale to 5. Exhale, slow back down. Good job. Shake it out if you want to, 1 at a time. That can kind of feel good. And then just from here, we're going to take downward dog. Walk the hands forward 2 or 3 inches. Tuck your toes, pinkies included. Hips go up high. At your pace, you can start to walk it out 1 leg at a time. Notice how blood is moving upside down. Look for your belly button. High up onto the tippy toes with an inhale. Exhale, heels to the earth. Think about pushing into your pinky toes. Your pinkies on your hands, all those little small details, finding some stillness here. Good. And then on your next inhale, we're going to rock into a plank all the way down onto your stomach. Untuck your toes, right into Sphinx. You'll inhale, pull your chest up and through. Forearms come to the ground, palms down. And then we'll roll it back for 3 breaths. Start to use your lower back muscles. Zipping up the core some, you can engage by flexing the knees, lifting them up and off the mat, or just pushing into the tops of the feet some. Try to open the neck, 1 more breath, and then exhale down to the ground. Good. You'll slide the hands to the chest, almost like a push-up. We'll work on our cobra pose here. On your inhale, same idea. You'll pull the chest forward and through. Use your back muscles. Flex into the glutes right away. Push into the tops of the feet. The check is that you could pull your hands up and off the mat. Your upper body wouldn't move too much. If it does, notice how to rest into your lower belly and then lift up. 1 more breath. And exhale back down. Good job. Same thing. 1 more time, or you can come into an upward dog if you'd rather. Big breath. Pull yourself through. Strong chest. Lower back muscles. Good. Try not to dip or drop into the shoulder blades. You're actually lifting up. Engage your triceps wherever you're at. And then exhale back down to the ground. Good job. From here, press up. Knees on the ground. We'll take 3 push-ups just to warm up. Exhale, elbows locked in. Down for 1. Inhale, come up. Maybe flex into the feet some. Exhale, back down. Inhale, up. Good. And then from here, tuck the toes. Rock back into your tabletop. Then we'll take downward dog. Pedal it out some. Big breath, and then bend into the knees to prepare. You'll take 1 big step to the top of the mat, left foot joins. Good. Big inhale, half lift, shine through the crown of your head, and then exhale, fold all the way over the legs. Just a forward fold here. You can hug into the backs of the knees some. Squeeze tight, shake the head, yes, no. And then exhale, roll all the way up. Reverse swan, 2 standing, arms up above the head. Look that way, big breath. And then exhale, hands to your chest. Samasthiti. Sun salutation A. On your next inhale, arms up above the head. Look that way with the gaze. Exhale, dive into it. Arms out wide, all the way to the floor. Fingertips touch the ground. Inhale, we'll take a half lift. Press into your shins. And then exhale, set the hands down. 1 foot back, then the other. You're in your plank. Rock forward to your high. Exhale, elbows in, all the way down. Untuck your toes. Pull yourself up and through, shoulders roll back, cobra or upward dog, and then exhale, downward dog. Maybe take tabletop first. Good, we'll take 3 breaths here, maybe 5 if you're a little bit quicker. Heels into the ground, stretch out. Strong thumbs, notice the sound of things. Inhale, lift, and exhale some toxins out. Good, we'll do 1 more of those. Inhale, big breath. And exhale into the knees, prepare. We'll come to the top of the mat again, step or hop this time, 1 foot at a time, other foot joins. Inhale, half lift, big breath. And then exhale, pull yourself in. Grabbing to the backs of the ankles or the knees, let the spine get long, shake no. Good, and then on your next breath, roll all the way up to standing, arms up above the head, look that way. And exhale, hands to prayer, Samasthiti. We'll do it 1 more time. Inhale, arms up above the head, look up. And exhale, dive into it. Arms out wide, fingertips touch the ground. Inhale, half lift, big breath. And then exhale, set the hands down. Maybe the other foot back first this time, left then right to your plank. Rock forward and exhale, come down. This is our chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Use your back here, stay strong. Good. And then exhale to tabletop into downward dog. 3 breaths again, or 5 if you're quick. Soak yourself up a little bit. Maybe notice some sunshine in the room that you're in, the clothes on your skin, if you're cold or hot. And 2 more big breaths, lifting your hips up. Try to get a long spine here. Think about the little details in downward dog. Shake the head like it was caged between the biceps. 1 more breath. On your next exhale, you'll start to sit into the knees, prepare. Look forward to the top of the mat, then exhale, come up 1 foot at a time. Inhale, half lift, press into the shins, and then exhale, pull yourself in. Hugging to the backs of the knees or ankles, long spine, good. And then inhale, we'll roll up. Reverse swan, arms up above the head, little back bend. Look high, and then exhale, hands to prayer, Samasthiti. Sun salutation B now. Inhale, arms come up, this is Utkatasana, chair pose. Sitting into it, knees are together, maybe they're a little bit wider, but just try to sit, arms straighten up, so elbows nice and strong. A backslash or a little curve in your lower back, whatever is better for you to start, good. Then on your exhale, hands come to prayer. We'll fold all the way down. Fingertips touch. Inhale, half lift, big breath. And then exhale, maybe work on jumping back this time. All in one motion. Exhale to plank, come down through your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, cobra, roll it back. And then exhale, downward dog. Sun Sal B, right away, right foot steps forward on your inhale, left foot plants. Come up into your warrior one, big breath. Good. Maybe find a little length in the right leg for this first one, we'll warm it up. Legs are hip width distance, so like railroad tracks, you'll widen. Arms up high, hands can come to the hips, one big breath. And then exhale, set it down, hands to the floor. Right foot steps back, elbows in, will come down. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And then exhale, downward dog. Left side now, toes step forward, right foot plants. Inhale, come up, warrior one, railroad tracks. Good, notice how your hips want to square up. Any length in the left knee, then exhale into it. Hands can come down for one breath. Just kind of setting it up here for our first one, then exhale, hands all the way to the ground. Left foot slides back, plank pose. Exhale, come down. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward dog. Good job. 3 or 5 breaths here. Steady up with yourself. Good. If you're feeling really tired, you could drop to the knees even. Maybe take a child's pose. Think about how you might need some air. Or if this is work for you, lock it in. 2 or 3 more breaths. Good job, y'all. Stay with me. Almost through our little warm-up here into our ladder series. On your next exhale, bend into the knees, prepare. And we'll hop or tiptoe to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, big breath. And exhale, pull yourself in, forward fold, long spine, shake the head. And we'll take Utkatasana from here. Inhale, back into your chair pose. Arms come up. Look high, sit into it, good. Straighten up the elbows. One big breath, zip up your core. And then exhale, hands come to prayer, Samasthiti. Pedal it out a little bit, that can feel good. And we'll do it one more time. We'll finish a little differently though. Inhale, arms come up, chair pose. Sit into it a little deeper this time, flex into your toes. Good, and then exhale, hands to prayer, fold all the way down. Fingertips touch, inhale, half lift, long spine. And exhale, float back or step 1 foot at a time to your plank. Exhale, elbows in, all the way to the floor. Untuck your toes, inhale, pull yourself through, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Then exhale into your downward dog. Right away, right side, step forward. Left foot plants, come up, warrior one. This time one fluid motion. Big inhale and then exhale, we'll set it down. Hands move to the floor. Right foot steps back into your plank. Exhale, come down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. We'll take a cobra on this one. Shoulders roll back. Good, and then exhale to tabletop. Downward dog. Left side, inhale, step, right foot down, come up, warrior one. One fluid motion, big breath. Lift up, railroad tracks, and then exhale, set it all down. Left foot slides back to your plank. Exhale, come down. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. We'll hang out here for 5 breaths. Pedal it out one at a time, long spine. Work on being still. Maybe you hear things. And keep out of your head, of course. So the types of poses where your body and mind tell you just to leave or get out of it. Settle into it one more time. Good. Big breath in through the nose. And then on your next exhale, we'll bend into the knees. Prepare. Look to the top of the mat. Inhale, step or hop. 1 foot at a time. Inhale, half lift. Big breath. And then exhale, forward fold, all the way over the thighs. Squeeze yourself in tight. And then we'll take chair pose again. Inhale, arms up, Utkatasana. Good, we're gonna hang out here. Next few breaths, start to sit into it a little bit deeper. Flex into the toes, good job. You'll feel the calves and the shins working. Long arms, stretch out. One more breath, tuck the pelvis a little, good. And then interlace the fingers, you're gonna come out in front. Start to fold a little bit, long spine. Squeeze your knees together. Dip into the tailbone a little bit. This is power pose. Or any other variation. If you want to come up onto the tippy toes, you can. Good. Steady up for one more breath. Inhale. Good, and then exhale, come into a fold. Knees can stay together, you'll bend into it. A little yogi squat. If you want to take a crow pose here, you could. Knees out wide into the armpits, maybe 1 foot at a time. Up, then the other. Maybe you just practice setting it up. Try not to let the knees slide off the triceps. I'm so prone to do that. Or again, maybe you're just in your forward fold. Let your spine get long here. No pressure on taking this. We'll otherwise meet back in a downward dog. So if you want to move through your chaturanga into your plank crows, start to kick it back when you're ready. On your exhales, come down. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. It's kind of our warm-ups here. We'll get into our ladder sequencing now. Right side first. Inhale, step the foot forward. Left foot plants, come up, warrior one. Nice and high, back to where we were. Square up your hips here. Hands could come down if you want to square even more. Pull the right side back. Mine always gets a little sneaky. Exhale, bend into your right knee. Push into the left foot, nice and strong. Good, and then on your next exhale, we'll open up. Warrior two. Arms out wide. Heels come into a line here. Good job. Thumbs are tucking. Check in with the back left foot. Maybe it's parallel. It should be. Keep letting the right knee pull to the right. Don't let it collapse into your hips. One big breath. Good. Then on your exhale, you'll straighten the right leg. Start to slide it in. Maybe heel toe. We'll take triangle pose. Shift the hips back into the left a little bit. Then you'll exhale. Drop the right hand down. You might find a block here that could be helpful. Maybe the highest setting on the inside of the foot. Try to stack your shoulders here. Pushing into both feet. Don't forget about the left side. Inhale up, maybe looking that way. And then exhale, hands come down. Good. You'll walk the left foot in a little bit. We're going to revolve our triangle now. Maybe you drop the block to a lower setting. Left hand comes down, and then on your inhale, right arm comes up. Good. So pushing into both feet here. Maybe widen the stance just a little bit. Push into your heel. This is revolve triangle. Try to zip up the core a little bit. Big breath through the right arm, get long. Good. And then exhale back to center. You'll inhale to a high lunge, hands come to prayer. Step the left foot back a little bit further, heel toe the right foot, and then exhale, we'll take extended side angle. Right elbow comes to the right knee, left arm goes forward. And we're just getting long here, like a backslash, good. Reaching through the left hand, make sure you're pushing into the left side. The right arm can drop to the floor or a block. Big breath. And then exhale, we'll come down. Hands plant, pop up onto the left toes. We'll take a crescent lunge here. Inhale, hands back to prayer. And then exhale, cut it across. Left elbow to right knee. And then just press in. Couple breaths here, you'll grow the right arm. You could stack the shoulders or look down off the tip of the mat. Maybe the hands stay closer to prayer. Good. Try to straighten up the left leg underneath you. Big breath. And then exhale, hands will come down. Move anything underneath you, so any blocks, anything like that. Exhale, step it back, and we'll flow all the way down to the mat. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. The sequence here calls for a little dolphin or pincha onto your forearms. We'll take 5 breaths here. Nice and strong. You could start to walk the feet in. If you need a child's pose, please take that. This is tough work. We have the other side to do still. Maybe you bend the elbows, make sure the hands are touching, good. And then just lock it in for a couple breaths. You could walk it in closer, maybe practice one leg at a time, lifting. All the way up into your pincha. One more breath where you're at. Good job, y'all. And then exhale, start to set it down into a quick child's pose if you want. That can be a lot. One breath. And then inhale, we'll rock into our tabletop. Then into our downward dog. Big breath. Good job. Left side now. Inhale, step it forward right away. Right foot plants, railroad tracks, come up to your warrior one. Big breath. Arms up nice and high. You could look that way. Hands down to the hips if you want to try to square up. Left side might pull back. And we're just warming it up on this side now. Pushing into the right heel like you were splitting the mat. Let the shoulders roll back. Big breath, take up some space, and then exhale, open up, warrior two. Heel toe the left foot to the right some, so the heels are in a line now. Arms open up wide. If they want to be on the hips, you could. Bend into your left leg, make sure it's opening, the hips get really strong here. Tuck your thumbs if you want. Good, make sure your arms aren't droopy. One big breath, lift. And then from here, exhale, start to straighten the left leg. We'll take triangle pose. You can walk the stance in a little bit, heel toe, slide the left foot in some, and then exhale, hips go back into the right some, left hand down to the shin, we'll stack. This is triangle pose. Good, holding here for a breath or two. Push into your right foot, stack. Get nice and big, option to wrap the right arm back even. Try to flex into the right glute. One more big inhale, good. And then exhale back to center. Hands come down, walk your right foot in some. Good. Railroad tracks, this is revolved triangle. Right hand goes down. If you want to come up to standing first, take a little prayer, crescent lunge. And then exhale, set the right hand down, left arm up. Walk the stance in a little if you need here. The right foot is parallel. And you're pushing into both feet. So getting into the left hip here, almost like a falling back sensation. The left hand could try to flatten the hips. Look down for one breath. Good. And then on your exhale, come to center. Hands down. We're going to take extended side angle now. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, hands up to a crescent lunge. Exhale, start to open to the right side. Left elbow to the left knee, then swing the right arm forward. Good. Work your way into the hips. Splitting the mat here. Left hand could drop inside or outside of the knee. Looking up at the right hand, big breath. Good job. And then exhale, come down, hands plant. Pop up onto the right toes. We'll take a crescent lunge again. Inhale, suck in some air. And then exhale, cut it across. Right elbow to left knee. Press into your palms, and then we'll grow from here. Left arm could go up. Or you're just pressing into the palms, trying to straighten that right leg underneath you some. Good job. Big breath. Look down before you breathe. Maybe you're doing it all at the same time. And then exhale, set it. Hands down. We'll slide the left foot back. Flow from here. Elbows in all the way down. Inhale, upward dog. Big breath. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, we're going to whoosh back to the back of the mat. Or walk one hand at a time. If you can do it all in one motion, bend into the elbows some and then press. Slide your way all the way back. You use the hands nice and strong here though. Inhale up, big breath. Good, one vertebrae at a time. Mountain pose. Palms facing forward, toes to be touching. We'll settle up for a breath here. Pedal into the knees a little bit, big chest. Notice where you're at. Good, and then one of the things true to rocket, we'll take San Francisco twinkle toes. Arms will come up above the head. If you want to interlace, you can. Or you're reaching up, palms facing each other, high up onto the tippy toes. Good. Looking off the tip of the mat, or for more of a challenge out front, you'll inhale the right knee up into the chest and then step out. Good. Then the left side, one at a time. Find your balance on the right side of the foot before you move. Good. Squaring up your hips along the way. Try to keep the heel height. Good. We're just demonstrating how to get to the top of the mat essentially for rocket practice. One more big breath. Inhale, right knee up. High up onto the tippy toes. Maybe you pedal a little bit. Good, and then exhale, set it down. Hands to prayer. And then palms down, mountain pose. And as we said, opening up to the right side always in rocket. On your next inhale, right arm, right leg swings open. We're going to get into our folds here. Hands to the hips for this variation. Shoulders roll back, big breath. A little bit easier on this one. Push into the lower back some. Flex into the glutes, and then on your exhale, we'll fold. 3 breaths this way. Walk the stance out a little bit wider if you want. Try to keep the hands on the hips for this one. Using the thumbs and the fingertips as a guide, you might look towards the belly button. Flex into the underside of the thighs, strong glutes. Good, and then on your exhale, you'll hinge up real slow. One vertebrae at a time. Notice the pelvis tucking. For our next variation, I like to take the arms out wide. Inhale, big breath. You can flip the palms up if you want a little bit more, and then look high. Widen the stance if you need, and then on your exhale, same thing. Flex into the glutes, then roll. Forward fold all the way down. Fingertips could touch this time. Or they reach to the outsides of the toes. Peace sign fingers, or maybe you grab to the edges. Pull yourself in, 2 or 3 breaths. Maybe you just walk the hands in underneath yourself real strong. 1 more big breath. And then exhale, walk it in. Hands to the hips. You'll roll up. Tuck the pelvis along the way. Strong glutes. Back to our center. Good. For our last variation, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. It'll look like this. Slide the hands down your lower back and look up for a big breath. And then same thing. Exhale, start to fold. We'll take 3 or 5 if you're a little bit quicker. Looking underneath yourself. Using the palms and the shoulder blades like a trick here. So try to squeeze tight. Walk the stance out to your edge. Very carefully. You can take a rock side to side if you want. That can feel good. Squeeze your palms together. Rock forward a little bit. Then hands come underneath. Support yourself. Good. And from here, the practice calls for us to sit all the way down, which if you can do so, try it. Otherwise, we'll practice sliding our hands underneath, bending into the knees, and then just finding our way there. Letting go of any extra flesh as you get down. Good. And here we're going to get into our Mula Bandha checkups. So left hand to start, right in between the legs. Out wide, you'll flex the toes towards the face. Feel the shins and the thighs start to work. Right hand comes back like a kickstand. Make sure the fingers aren't like this though, almost like a push-up. Good. Steady up here. On your next breath, you're going to push into the hands and try to lift. The seat, maybe one leg at a time. You'll use the core a lot here. Into your right, then your left. Maybe both legs. Exhale, set it down. We're focusing on the right side here technically, so if you want to even take a block, you can. This is always kind of fun. Keeping the left side down, and then on your inhale, try to pick the right leg up and over, and then inhale up and over the other way. Make sure you're breathing good. Inhale up and down, and last one. Push into the hands. Good. This is something I'm still very much working on. To the left side now. Shake it out a little bit. You can kind of roll back if you want, let the chest open. And then the right hand to the middle of the mat. Left hand on the outside, make sure your hands are square. Eventually we'll be able to kick back into our plank pose through our chaturanga. Inhale, start to press into it, lift up on the seat. Good. You could look down, holding up, or getting the block in position. And working your way into your little leg lifts, up and over. If you're working on a lot of this strength here, it's kind of a good place to concentrate. This is usually where I start. Inhale up one more time, and then back over. Good job. From here, move any blocks that are in the way, and technically we could kick back into our plank from here. So you're just going to push into the hands, slide the left foot back and underneath, and then somehow into your plank. Elbows locked in. Untuck your toes all the way down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, roll it back. And then exhale, downward dog. Good. From here, you'll bend into the knees, prepare to hop, tiptoe to the top of the mat, roll up. Good. Inhale, long spine, big breath. And then exhale, pull yourself in. We're going to roll up to standing here, one vertebrae at a time, arms like zombie. And getting right into our standing big toe variation. Good. We'll start with the right side first. On your inhale, you'll bring the right knee up into the chest, squeeze tight. Flex into the glutes, bend into the standing leg a little bit. And then maybe just stay right here if this is a lot for you. Or if you can get the peace sign fingers on the right side to the big toes, go ahead and kick. Good. Working on lengthening through the back. Long spine, pull your hip in. Good job. Maybe pointing through the toes a little bit. Noticing where you need to grow. Then on your exhale, we're going to open up to the right side. I'll turn so you can see. This is standing big toe. Left hand to the hip, maybe it comes out wide like a T. Bend into the standing leg, but flex the glute at the same time. Good. Big gaze, tucking the chin a little. And then on your exhale, we'll come back to center. Not quite done yet. Good. Right foot comes in. We're going to take a little figure 4. If you could bring the right foot all the way into the hip crease, you could. And then stay right here. Hands can come to prayer. Exhale, maybe start to fold a little bit. Let the spine get long. Careful with the right kneecap here. And make sure you're not just sticking the butt out. Make sure you're rocking a little bit. Long spine like you were shining through the crown. One more breath. Good. And then exhale, we'll set it down. From here, I actually like to take standing splits. So we'll set the fingers to the ground. Kick the right leg up behind you and then start to balance here. Wiggling into the toes as much as you want, right side then left. Walking yourself into the left ankle. Good, pull yourself close. And then exhale, set it all down. Left foot drops. We'll go ahead and take a vinyasa from here. I like to take an inhale, big long spine. And then exhale, set it down. Feet go back. On your exhale, we'll move through our chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. Bend into the knees, prepare, hop, tiptoe to the top of the mat. We'll work into our left side, standing big toe. Inhale, roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders out of the ears, good. Tadasana. Notice how the breath feels. Just stay right where you're at. Bring the left knee up into the chest, just facing you to demonstrate. Wiggle the ankle some if you want. Take it the other way. Really work on engaging the glutes here. You can get really tall. And if you've got peace sign fingers, take it to the big toes on the left side. Inhale, kick. Good. Nice and straight with the left leg. Try to pull the hip in. You're squaring up here, flexing into both glutes. It's tough. Shoulders roll back. Big chest. And then on your exhale, start to open up standing big toe to the left. Right arm can come out wide, maybe to the hip crease. Just work on pulling the hip in. Get strong in the right glute. It'll feel like a rock if you touch it. Tuck the chin, one more breath, and then exhale back to center. Standing 4, or figure 4. Top of the left foot into the right thigh, hands to prayer. Notice the left side kind of squaring up. Maybe something pops. My knee usually does, which is weird, but it doesn't hurt, so move slow. Hands to prayer, you can start to hinge if you're loose in the hips. Good. Pushing into the ball of the right foot. Again, maybe don't stick the butt out super far. Try to get a long spine, lift. Flexing into the left leg some. Good, and then on your exhale, we'll take standing splits. Back from here, arms move. Warrior 3 if you want it, then hands to prayer, and then all the way down. Kicking the left leg up here for a couple breaths. Start to walk yourself in, grabbing onto the right ankle, tucking the chin, kick up high like you're scissoring the legs together. Inhale, lift for 2 and 1. Exhale, set it all down. Left foot drops, bounce. Now we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, set it down. Hands plant, right foot back, then left, all the way to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Lots of vinyasas here at the end of class. If you know how to rock through your hands, you certainly may. Otherwise, maybe just one foot at a time, tiptoe nice and slow. You might need to give the palms a little bit of lift. I always have to. And then bring the feet forward. Good. Out in front, maybe one day doing all of that in one good motion. And right away, we're going to get into our forward folds. Good. So start to straighten up the back. Almost like we're in waterfall pose, laying down. Into our floor series here. Flex the toes towards your face. You could grab onto the undersides of the thighs if you want. Any little flexing you need, roll your shoulders back. Big breath, and then on your exhale, you'll pull yourself in. Reaching for the big toes or soles of the feet. Pull your belly in close to the thighs, and then start to concentrate on your hamstrings. Good. Looking for the belly button. Shake the head, yes, no. And then looking for the toes. Try not to just arch your long back in, but pulling yourself through almost. Like you're pulling the shoulders back. One more breath. Good. And then from here, you'll exhale, start to roll up slow. And then set the hands. You'll bring the feet in for a crisscross. Inhale up. Try to lift for a couple breaths. Palms down if you can. Exhale, set. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift up on your seat. Engage. And then exhale, we'll kick the feet back. Moving through our chaturanga into a plank. Eventually walking there. And then exhale, come down, elbows in. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. We'll inhale through the hands one more time. Maybe all in one motion or kicking your feet out. Good. This is the rest of kind of rocket one on the floor, just some folds. Right foot will come into the left hip crease here. Good. Flex into the left toes towards the face. Inhale, long spine, big breath, and then exhale, start to bow over the left thigh. Pulling yourself in, the right shoulder might drop here. Look underneath the left armpit. Shake yes or no if that feels good. Think about those Mula Bandha checkups when our feet were out wide like this. Kick into the hands some. Good. Thigh gets nice and long. Even an option to look underneath the right armpit if you want, kind of opening up. Then on your exhale, one vertebrae at a time, come up slow. Good. We'll do a couple things at once. Right foot comes in, plant close to the hips. Right arm will come back like a kickstand. Flex into the left toes, then inhale the left arm up, and exhale, cut it across. Left elbow to right knee. So a couple of these classic poses in rocket that we have to get on both sides. So we don't forget them all, we'll do them all at once. On your exhales, twist. Good, maybe wringing something out, bend into the right elbow a little bit, look up and back, you could even stretch the eyes. And then exhale slow back to center. Good. I like to take a bind after this one. So the right arm wraps around the right knee. You'll bend into the right shoulder, let that open up, and then if you can reach the left arm out and around, take that. Good. Flex into the left leg, start to square up your hips some. Big chest, pull yourself through even a little bit. Good. And then on your exhale, start to arch the back. Nice and long, kick the right foot out. And we'll switch sides. Left foot comes in. If you wanted to take a vinyasa there, you could. I'm going to take it a little bit easier here, getting into the right side. I like to balance first. Left foot into the hip crease. Flex into the right toes. Inhale, arms up. Butterfly thumbs if you want, then exhale, fold. Concentrating on the right hamstring here. Good. Letting the left knee relax, looking underneath your right armpit. Big breath. Kick into the foot here. Don't forget about your tailbone. If you're looking under the right and that feels weird, you can take it the other way if you want. Looking underneath the left armpit, kind of opening up the chest to the front of the room. And then exhale slow back to center, one vertebrae at a time. Left foot comes into plant, close to the hip, slide your right foot out more central. Then the left arm comes back like a kickstand. Inhale the right arm up, scoop some air, and then exhale, cut it across. Right elbow to left knee, twist. Inhale, looking up and back. Intermittently flexing the right toes if you want. Long spine like somebody was pulling a string from the top of the head. Good job. Twisting on your exhales, then slow back to center. We'll take our bind here. So reach your left arm out in front of the left knee, wrap it around. I'll spin so you can see. And then the right arm reaches around back, grabbing your fingertips here, squeeze. And then just start to drop the neck, nice and long. Shake the head, yes, no. Flex the toes towards the face, big breath. Think about how far you've come in some of this stuff. Good, and then exhale, slow, lift up, one vertebrae at a time. And then we'll slide the feet back through our chaturanga. I'll spin around since I'm facing the other way. Maybe that's just me taking the lazy option. Exhale, elbows in. Inhale, upward dog, nice and strong. Find your pride. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. From here, you're going to bend into the knees and tiptoe or hop to the top of the mat. We're going to get into the rocket 2 sequence of finishing here. So into our little toe squat. At the top of the mat, you're going to inhale, hands to prayer. You'll be facing forward. I'm just facing you so you can see. On your exhale, cut the left elbow to the right knee and start to press into the palms. Good. Pushing into the hands here. Looking down off the tip of the mat. Long spine. Maybe you're wringing something out. You can work on shifting the hips a little bit too. Something that can bring some balance into your life. Good. And then on your exhale, you'll drop the right hands to the right side, option for side crow if you've got it. Exhale strong into the elbows, make sure you're supported like a shelf, and then kick the feet up and off the mat. Rocking nice and slow, and then strong back to center, good. We'll set that down. Option to take a vinyasa, or move into the left side right away. Hands come to prayer, long spine like a wall is up against your back. And then exhale, right elbow to left knee, cut it across. Push into your palms here, start to open up. You'll feel a twist in the spine. You could look up or down. Find that sweet spot on the balls of your feet to balance. Maybe try to bring the heels together a little bit. One more breath, twisting, and then exhale, drop the hands to the left side, option for side crow over here. Bending into the elbows, make sure you've got your shelf. This side is so much different for me. I notice it's in the hips, maybe work on balancing those here. Strong thighs here, good. And then exhale, slow, back to center. Let your spine get nice and long, then we'll take a chaturanga. Feet go back into your plank. Drop the knees, untuck your toes all the way down. Inhale, upward dog, or cobra, or sphinx. And then exhale, downward facing dog from there, good. On your inhale, you're gonna whoosh through the hands again. Sliding the feet all the way forward, coming into your seated. All the way down, good job. We're gonna take locust pose here. So down onto our backs. Fish pose. Good. Forearms down into the ground, start to roll your shoulders back. Pointing through the toes, and you'll inhale, lift the chest up. Using the shoulder blades here, flex into the thighs. We'll take 2 more breaths if you can. Maybe grabbing the lower back some, supporting with the fingertips. Good. Make sure your shoulders are strong, and then exhale, slow, back down. Good. You could rock the knees into the chest, maybe side to side, give yourself a little hug. And then from here, we'll take a vinyasa. Get a little momentum, rock all the way to seated, then plant the hands, kick your feet back into your plank. Exhale all the way down, inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Just a couple more things to do before we finish. On your inhale, you're gonna rock all the way to your plank, and then exhale, come down onto the stomach. Get super soft here, like you were kissing the mat, untuck your toes. Good, and then slide the hands down to the belly. This is where we'll get into locust. Shoulders roll back out of the ears, kind of concentrating on one spot in your lower core. On your next inhale, you're gonna lift everything up but the lower stomach. Hands included, slide them down towards your hips. The chest gets big like we were in an upward dog or cobra. Lifting the feet up a little bit higher, suck in some air. Good, and then exhale, set it all the way down. Right cheek hits the mat, or left. Windshield wipe the feet. Get any air into the hips. And then exhale back to center. Almost like you were moving towards sphinx, but then pull the left arm out like a kickstand, and then bring the right foot towards the back of the head. We'll take half bow here. Grabbing with the right arm, and then just starting to pull yourself in. Notice how the body wants to twist sideways. We're working on getting square here. So shoulders to the front of the room, push into the left side of the hip, and then look up if you want. Option to wrap the elbow or the arm a little bit further onto the hand or onto the foot. And from here, work on squeezing your knees back together. That's something that always gets my lower back. Nice and strong. And then exhale slow, back down. Right cheek hits the mat, look the other way, windshield wipe if you want. And then we'll just do the other side. Right arm comes up like a kickstand, forearm down. Grab your left foot. Giving the toes a little flex for a grip if you want. Sometimes that can feel kind of good. And then just inhale, lifting up. This is half bow. Good. Working on squaring your shoulders and your knees here. Try to pull the knees together for one more breath. Inhale, lift. Big chest. And then exhale back down. We're going to take full bow. This seems to be the peak of class always for me, regardless of what style I'm doing. Knees come into the chest. On your inhale, kick the feet towards the back of the head, then reach back nice and sneaky with the hands. Curl your toes for a good grip, then let the belly get soft, look towards the belly button. Then inhale, kick into the hands, come up. This is bow. We'll rock for a couple breaths. Maybe you move with it. Keep squeezing the knees together, bend into the elbows, get something out of this you're hardly ever here. Inhale, lift up through your stomach, roll your shoulders, good. And then exhale, slow. Set it all the way down. Inhale back into a child's pose from here. Let the shoulders go behind the back. It's kind of nice to give them a break. And maybe squeeze onto your feet here, tops of them or undersides. Any little rocks you need back and forth. Just kind of settling yourself down for a second. Good, and let's take rabbit pose from here. We'll bring knees into the chest. Zip it up nice and small. If you want to come up onto the tippy toes, you can. Grabbing onto the heels and then just pull yourself in. Forehead to knees. On your inhale, kick into the hands and pull at the same time. I guess kick into the feet. Like you were doing a somersault, either way. Looking for the belly button, long spine. Shoulders and elbows roll out, pull. Give it some actual work here. Lower back gets a little love, and then exhale, release. We'll crawl to the top of the mat if you're not already there. Knees hip width distance here. Untuck your toes again if you want it in the arches of the feet. This is camel pose. Inhale, come up. Tuck the pelvis right away. Hands to come to the lower back, like they were sliding down into the invisible back pockets. And then inhale, start to look up. Let your neck open, push into your hips. You'll shake the head side to side here, really gently though. And then steady up, 3 breaths to your edge. Push. Flex into the glutes here, try to bring your knees together. Some stuff can come up here, figuratively, maybe literally. One more breath, elbows back, lift. Good. And then exhale, start to lower. Hands plant, slide the feet back through our chaturanga. Exhale down. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, drop onto the knees. We'll roll all the way onto our backs for bridge or wheel. Actually, we'll do 2 sets. Like in the demo vid, I always feel that. You'll say you want to do 1 set and then realize 2 is best. We'll take bridge first. Feet are planted close to the hips. Knees are up in little A-frames. Then on your next inhale, you'll lift the hips towards the ceiling. Slide the hands underneath. Interlace. Crisscross your thumbs. Squeeze your palms together. Then just inhale up. 3 breaths from here. This is work. Squeeze your knees together. Flex into the glutes. Strong thighs. Up. Big chest. You could use the thumbs like a joystick. 1 more breath. Press up higher into the hips. And then exhale slow. Set it back down. Hang out here for a breath or 2. You could windshield wipe. And then into our wheel. Or another round of bridge. On your inhale, if you're taking wheel, walk your hands close to the ears. Fingers towards the body. Settle up. And then exhale, start to pick the hips up. Whichever variation you're in, bridge or wheel, start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Squeeze your thighs back together. Strong kneecaps. Up onto your tippy toes in wheel or even in bridge if you want. Try to rock into the hands. Straightening up the arms, 1 big breath. And then exhale, lower it all down. Good job. Windshield wipe the knees if you need. Hug yourself in really close. Back and forth, good. And then from here, start to rock. We'll roll back around and take pigeon pose from here, right side. Slide the right foot into the hands, untuck your left toes, and we'll kick it all the way back. Just kind of finishing up here on the floor. Some of our more classic rocket sequencing. You could pull the right foot forward if you want. Roll your shoulders back. Even twist to the right. We're kind of getting square here. Rest into the glutes, or maybe you're engaging a little, and then exhale. Bow over the right thigh if you want that. Palms could be facing up or forearms down, head resting. Big exhales. Some stuff can come up here. I suggest you just breathe through it. Letting gravity work on you a little bit. Same breath you started class with. Exhale, sinking. And one more time. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, droop. Then on your next exhale, we'll take cow face pose. Left leg swings all the way around out in front. This pose is tricky for me, but obviously, for good measure, left leg crosses all the way around the right foot, so it's up in the air. I'll twist to face the camera so you can see. Both feet are down. If you want to pull the right foot forward, some you can. Inhale, maybe the hands back behind you like kickstands can always help me to set up. And then exhale, you'll bow over the knees. Maybe the hands out in front, or you're just hugging yourself in. Feel this in the hips right away. Maybe you grab onto the feet. Inhale, long spine. Shoulders could roll back. Good. And if that's a lot for you, maybe you do use the hands like a kickstand and let the chest kind of open up. Careful with your hips. And exhale, slow, back to center. Good. We'll take the other side, pigeon pose. From here, you'll undo the left leg and just set it down out in front of you. Kick the right leg out and around and slide it back. If you want to take a full vinyasa, you can. Either way, your inhale, sliding the right leg back. Hands come down in front of you, lift up. Try to get square in the chest and the hips. Any flexing here or unflexing. Shoulders start to drop, and then you could bow over the left thigh. Palms up if you want, or down. Maybe something different. You could take Superman. Let your head rest heavy, long spine here, and then let the left hip sink. Notice what you're doing to yourself, how you're helping your body. And of course, nothing too profound here at the end of class. Just letting some stuff download. One more breath where you're at before things get tingly or painful or anything like that. Your exhale, start to sit onto the left hip. We'll take cow face on this side. Right leg swings all the way around the left foot. Crisscrossing the knees some. The left foot is down. Maybe slide the foot up some and then flex. Get as comfortable as you can with the knees. Then inhale up. Use the hands if you need. Good. Trying to push both hips into the ground, and then exhale, take whatever fold you can. Noticing your feet. Maybe you're holding on to those. We're getting into the hips here. The left thigh is getting some love. Working on walking the right foot, maybe some, bringing the knees closer together. Almost kind of like an eagle pose, like you were wrapping up tight. One more breath, fold. If you're using the hands like kickstands, you could let the chest lift nice and big one time. Careful with your knees and hips. Good. And then on your exhale, you'll kick the right leg back and around. Then the left foot, you're in a plank here. Chaturanga, last one. Elbows in, exhale, strong to the mat. Inhale, upward dog, big breath. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Feel the hamstrings get really long here. Then exhale, drop into your knees. Untuck your toes. We'll take a child's pose here. Hands can come behind the back or knees nice and wide. After your next breath, we'll roll onto our backs for shoulder stand. Option for happy baby too, if you'd rather. Inhale, keep the feet up. Hands are supporting your lower back here. Good. If you're coming up into shoulder stand, make sure the neck is open. Toes are right over the hips, trying to straighten up through the knees. If you have halasana, you can take that. Or again, maybe happy baby is best for you here. It's kind of nice to take a few breaths in the movement, rock side to side, push the tailbone down, long spine. Good, tucking the chin some. Like your back was a string of pearls. Start to lift up on the lower back, almost like you could slide a hand underneath. And then we'll just find some stillness, no matter what you're in. Halasana, shoulder stand, or happy baby, just breathe. In and out the nose, nice and still. Maybe the hips are pulling a little bit more. One more big breath, inhale through the chest. And then exhale. Do one more thing on each side just to make sure we're nice and square. Left leg will stick out long. This is supine twist. Right side first. Exhale, pull the right leg across the body. Maybe anything you didn't get in pigeon pose. The right arm could open up like a T and then look that way. Steady gaze. Maybe you're looking up and off the mat. Both arms could come out wide. Or even pulling the left knee in a little bit. Just kind of comfy for 2 more breaths. Noticing your core, anything that you carry, literally or figuratively. Exhale back to center when you're ready for it. Squeeze the right knee one more time, wiggle your ankle. And then a big exhale, let it join the left. Switch sides. Left knee up and into the chest. Balance your hips here. Any last little squeeze you need. Wiggle your ankle and then exhale, pull it across the right side. Left arm opens up like a T. Getting into the left hip one more time here. Kicking through the right leg and looking off to the left. Good job. Letting gravity work on you some. So twisting on your exhales, kicking out through your longer leg, or even bending it up into the chest if you want to get a little bit comfier. Good job. Any last little wiggles you need. Then on your exhale, back to center. Bring the left knee into the chest. Squeeze one more time. Nice and tight, and then let the left leg go long. Meaning the right, this is the death of your practice, Shavasana. Wiggle the hips, shoulders, hands. A lot of pressure again to have it together at the end of yoga class. But that might be far from the case, especially if you're working through things. So give yourself a chance to get comfortable. Like the end of the day, think about how you set yourself up for success. The face relaxes, tongue off the roof of the mouth. Maybe the mouth even opens a little bit. One hand could come to the chest and one to the belly if you'd rather. Just giving yourself a little bit more thought as you close your practice. Soft tummy skin, don't think about the breath too much. You practiced enough. And from there, just let your stillness start to settle in. We'll take 30 seconds, maybe 45. Maybe noticing any rhythm starting to set in with your breath or comfort. Know that you can cultivate more of that. Take it with you off this mat. Any little wiggles into the toes or fingers. Nothing crazy. Notice your subtleties. Or magic or anything else you believe in. You could stretch the legs out long. Inhale, arms up high like you just woke up. Soft tummy skin, big breath. And then exhale, roll to the left or the right side. Bicep like a pillow. Get really comfy for a couple breaths. That space between waking and sleeping, you could let the legs kind of slide out naturally. Noticing your clothes, any sounds around you, or smells even. On your next exhale, press into whatever palm is in the ground and lift up. We'll come into a comfortable seated position just to finish. Knees together or crisscross, whatever's comfiest for you. Let the neck fall to the left side and then out around to the right. Just a couple little rolls. To wake yourself up, squeeze the knees together just gently. Take the neck the other way if you haven't already. about all that you carry, all that you're cut out for. Chin is tucked, like a wall was up against your back, nice and proud. Hands come to prayer, squeeze the knees together, and then a big exhale, bow. Thank you for joining or watching or grading or whatever you're doing. Your time is appreciated, especially lately. I know stuff feels so busy. Inhale, one vertebrae at a time, use your core, and I hope you have